Tesla is holding its annual meeting today. A key focus, of course, will be the results of that shareholder vote on Elon Musk's potentially trillion-dollar pay package. Phil LeBeau, of course, watching this closely, as are all shareholders here, Phil, given Musk has said if he doesn't get this comp plan, he may be out the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't think most people believe that's going to happen, David. And look, when you talk with most people, they believe ultimately this is going to be worked out. And we usually, and you pointed this out last hour, usually you get a pretty good sense of how shareholder votes are going to happen. Tesla's keeping the results close to the vest, and we may not know until the meeting starts at 4 o'clock. Remember, this pay package, it's actually set up as a series of tranches where Elon Musk would be paid and awarded Tesla shares if he hits certain metrics. We are not going to go through the entire thing. But if he were to be successful across the board over the next 10 years, he would have to hit an $8.5 trillion market cap for Tesla, deliver 20 million Teslas, deploy 1 million robotaxis, and also deploy 1 million humanoid robots. The robots is what's most interesting to a lot of people relative to this vote, because Elon Musk, he started during the company's financial calls by saying, I want some influence over what happens with these robots. If I'm going to stick around, I'm going to have some say in terms of the future of the development of these robots. I'm not just going to do this and then walk out the door. In fact, he said, I don't feel comfortable building that robot army if I don't have at least influence over it. He believes he should stay, and he should have a greater influence over Tesla, potentially up to a 25% stake in the ownership of the company. Right now, he's at 15%. Here's who's already come out publicly and said, we're voting for it or we're voting against it. The voting for it is not a surprise. You've got Elon Musk, as well as you've got ARK Invest, Ron Barron. The usual, hey, Elon can do no wrong crowd is 100% behind this pay package. Those opposing, a number of the pension funds have said this is just too excessive. We know about ISS, Glass Lewis. They've also made it clear that they do not believe that this pay package should be approved. As you take a look at shares of Tesla over the last year, keep in mind there's a couple other things that are on the ballot today. One is establishing political neutrality for the company. And two, whether Tesla will make an investment in XAI. That's probably the most interesting vote of the day, because I think, guys, when you look at what's happening with Tesla, Elon Musk had made it clear. It's AI, it's autonomous, it's robotics. That's the future. It's not electric vehicles. They are a conduit to advancing those other causes, but it's those three that we talked about in terms of what he believes the future is, and that's where the growth will happen.
Yeah, no, you're right, actually. I'm glad you pointed out the XAI potential investment there as well. And XAI last valued, I'm trying to remember where I last did the story in terms of where they're taking in money. But Phil, as for the vote itself, kind of surprising we haven't gotten any leaks. I guess last time it did leak, and they were perhaps upset about that. It's going to be Vanguard and BlackRock that certainly make the key decision here, I guess. It seems hard to imagine, though. I don't know. Do you have any betting going in?
I think it passes, David. That's just my sense. Look, as much as there are people who are not crazy about the excessive amount of this package, if it's all in, people also sit there and say, look, you hire a CEO to advance your company and grow your company. When the package was passed in 2018, let's see if we can call up a chart from January of 2018 of Tesla. Take a look at what happened when they had that first package. David, you and I were on the air talking about this, and more than a few people said, oh, come on, there's no way he's going to hit all of these targets. He hit them. And look at what happened with shares of Tesla. You are rewarded if he meets the metrics that are laid out.
Yeah. Phil, do you think there's going to be a backdrop of credits and subsidies and support policy-wise for humanoid robots the way we saw for EVs?
That would be interesting. I don't think so. But look, I mean, there's a lot of things that I didn't think we would see in this country in terms of policies, a few years ago that are now what we now have accepted. So I don't think so, Carl. I would be surprised. But, it's so early in terms of the development of these robots.
By the way, David, you reported a month ago XAI $200 billion valuation.
Oh, it's $200 billion, right?
I checked your story.
I just want to make it moves around a lot, but yes, around $200 billion for